I used to hate going to cafes. Hi, I'm Key and welcome back to my channel, Key to the World. Now, I know I just said I used to hate cafes because I always felt the drinks were overpriced. I felt like I could make them myself. You know, I couldn't even sit still for 5 minutes straight, so how could I even enjoy the atmosphere that the cafe had to offer? I think you get it. But everything changed for me a couple years ago when I went to Seoul. Because let me tell you, the cafes there were out of this world. Now, when going to Hoi An, I didn't immediately think of like a thriving cafe scene, but Google Maps told me differently. But the funny thing is, I couldn't find any video about it. Now, for reference, you have like thousands of cafe hopping vlogs about Seoul, but yeah, not really about Hoi An. The only thing that I could find is where to get the best coffee in Hoi An. And I got a confession to make. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink coffee. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What can I say? I don't drink coffee. And you might be thinking to yourself, like, why would you even go to a cafe then? Like, what are you even getting at a cafe? But let me tell you.
Sodies. Sody pops.
You know, let's put it this way. I like my drinks just as fruity as me. But no, for real, the cafes here are really amazing and I feel they are really underrated, even though the locals really seem to love it already. Now, before we really get into the video, I want to notify you guys that I try to make sure all of the cafes are locally owned and I try to avoid places that use single-use plastics as much as possible. And yeah, I just want to make that clear. So now without further ado, let's actually get into the video. Welcome to the first cafe. Now this cafe is beautifully located in a quiet spot a bit outside of the center of Hoi An. Now this cafe is really focused on high quality coffee, and I know I just admitted to not drinking coffee, but the fun part is that they show the process of making the coffee with steps as separating the coffee beans. The place was pretty busy with a good mixture of locals and tourists, and most people seemed to be busy working behind their laptops. The place was really green with different separated areas, giving it a very relaxed vibe. On to the second cafe. Now this was maybe the cheapest cafe while still being very much aesthetically pleasing. It's a small place with a nice selection of drinks. The mist machine really gave it a cool vibe, and they had 2 really cute dogs as a bonus, which were very happy to receive our attention. Let's move on to the next cafe. This cafe is very central in the old town and besides drinks also serves food. The main reason we want to go here is to check out the rooftop and get an overlook of the old town, which was very pretty. Now in contrast to the previous cafe, this one was probably the most expensive, but the drinks we got were really good, so definitely worth it to me. Alright, let's move on to the next. This place was really close to where we stayed, which was a little bit outside of the old town. Even though this place is next to a busy road, it was really quiet because the place had a completely closed front, which is pretty rare in Hoi An. The cafe is a family business and they really know their teas. They also serve some home-cooked meals. They were super kind and the cafe being so small gave it a more personal touch. The music was also super nice with a Japanese Brazilian jazzy feeling. And yeah, overall it was just a great cafe to relax and work a bit. Now for our next cafe, definitely make sure to visit it on a sunny day, because they have a mini jungle with a big pond filled with koi fish, which reflects so beautifully in the sunlight. Now the sitting style is very much like a lot of the more low-key local cafes, with camping seats in a long row, which gives it a little less privacy if you're looking for that, but to me it gave a very welcoming atmosphere. Now the highlight of this cafe is definitely the terrace overlooking the rice fields. We visited on a windy day, which made it extra stunning. Now before I show you the last cafe, which was my favorite, there is one more cafe to show you guys. This is one of the bigger cafes with different seating areas, mostly indoors. They have a big air-conditioned room, perfect to get some work done, and enough seating to always find a spot. Even though this cafe is a little less aesthetically pleasing to me, I still wanted to include it because of these attributes. On to the last cafe. Now obviously I had to save the best for last. I immediately fell in love with this cafe. The cafe had a beautiful outside seating area and even a separate little bakery within this garden-like area. You can order your drinks at the counter with a wide variety of drinks to choose from. You could sit inside without AC, inside with AC, outside in the shadow, outside in the sun, or even on an elevated platform. They had so many seating options available without it feeling too big. Perfect for everybody's needs. But the most important thing to me, it was just so beautiful and peaceful, and I could relax here for hours. Thank you so much for watching this video, and definitely let me know in the comments down below which cafe was your favorite. Also, of course, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in my next video next Monday. Bye!